But Vince McMahon has started this do what's best for business. I first started losing respect for Vince McMahon when I still worked in Stamford. When he sat me down at the table one time, Bruce Pritchard was there, I was there, and it was in fucking Vince's living room where we used to write TV. And I can't even remember what prompted this now, but I was ranting about somebody, fucking some asshole that had fucked us around some kind of way. And Vince said, Jim,
they're taking steroids. They're involved in child sex abuse. We've got allegations of animals being hurt here and killed. This is not family entertainment.
WWF is just filth, lies, and cheaters. That's the way that company has been built on. They'll step on anybody's toes to get what they want.
The WWF is run by one man, Vince McMahon Jr. McMahon is combination bulging bodybuilder and genius promoter. What he's done single-handedly is take professional wrestling out of smoke-filled rooms into family rooms. But recent charges against him and his organization have threatened McMahon's empire. The most serious were raised by former ring boy Tom Cole. He says the top WWF executives sexually harassed and abused ring boys, the teenagers hired to put up and take down rings at matches. The New York Post reported the allegations and broke the story nationally. Wrestling legend Bruno Sammartino confirms Cole's allegations.
The talk was on the inside that there were certain people within the organizations that were hiring these kids for one purpose and one purpose only. As far as wrestlers themselves, there was always been talk of some up-and-coming, good-looking young wrestlers who were put in situations that if they wanted to further their career, if they wanted to advance, if they wanted to climb that ladder, that they would have to cooperate.
Former wrestler Barry Orton also accuses the hierarchy of the WWF of homosexual harassment. Orton implicates two top executives, the former vice president of operations Pat Patterson and his former assistant Terry Garvin, as well as ring announcer Mel Phillips.
Out of Amarillo, heading west on Interstate 40, he started proposing that I allow him to perform a certain sexual task on me while I was driving. And, you know, I said, no, I'm not that way. One of the ring assistants, who was rather young, came up to me and asked me about Terry Garvin, and that he was kind of being harassed, and asked for my advice on what he should do.
WWF referee Mike Clark says Garvin also approached him in a hotel room.
He said, if you want to come to the television tapings, I'll bring you to the next television tapings, and I'll book you across every event in Canada. And I said, geez, how would you like to lie on the bed and have me perform oral sex on you? And I'll give you $500.
Clark turned Garvin down, but he says there were other approaches.
They said to me that you needed a green card to come to the United States to work. And the only way that was feasible was if you became a member of what they call the cream team, the ring crew, the people who set up the rings and the referees throughout the United States that are doing sexual favors for certain bosses in the World Wrestling Federation. On top of this cream team business were Terry Garvin and Pat Patterson. They were the main two culprits with this cream team, the whole issue of hiring youngsters due to getting sexual favors.
Clark also named Mel Phillips, calling him the
When he was
sickest of the three.
with a young boy in a car, they talked to this young boy and said, why are you allowing this? And he says, well, I get to go to all the TV tapings here in Allentown or Hamburg, both for free. I get to meet a lot of the wrestlers they introduced me to and even take pictures with a lot of them.
McMahon has gone on record saying that he wasn't aware of any child sex abuse. We have learned that he fired Phillips a few years ago because he suspected these activities. He then
There's
hired
no
him back.
question Vince not only knew it was going on, but it certainly wouldn't be a surprise or any shock that he was involved. He was fired in mid-August of '91, after I refused a sexual advancement from Vince McMahon's buddy, the vice president of operations.
Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What happened?
We were at an event at the Worcester Arena, and he had come up to me and he said, "So you're the new guy. What do you taste like?" And I was really put back by it. And I told him that he had the wrong guy. And then he told me candidly that not if I wanted to keep my job with him, I didn't. And he kept his word. 2 weeks later, I was fired.
I really don't know what to make of it.
What's shocking about this situation is that despite his denials, on national television no less, McMahon knew what was going on.
Why would I condone this kind of activity and risk this alleged kind of revenue?
Because Vince,
When they fired me, I told him in my meeting. Told him straight out, "Vince, your vice president came on to me at the Worcester Arena. I know this is the reason why you're firing me." He cut me off abruptly. He didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want to address the issue. He felt I was just some little peon who was just going to get kicked under the rug like everybody else who didn't do what Vince McMahon wanted. This is a powerful man with a lot of money who cannot stand to have anybody stand up to him
He promised
and
me
take
the
him
world.
on.
You know, how are you going to feel the first time you walk down past a newsstand and see your face on Time magazine? There's all kinds of money to be made here. You know, you're looking at like a $500,000 a year contract, and on and on and on. You know, suddenly, you know, like I said, I'm refereeing in Madison Square Garden. I'm refereeing on television. I'm doing talk shows, TNT, which was Tuesday Night Titan, a interview talk show. He did a 4-page layout on me in the WWF magazine, and things were really starting to happen.
But Rita Marie claims that catering to McMahon's sexual desires became a condition of her employment, beginning when she approached McMahon about getting more
I got
work.
into the limo, and we started talking, and he started telling me that, yeah, he had really neglected doing something with my career, and it was really time that Rita Marie came to be. And the next thing I know, Vince unzipped his pants, and he took my hand, and he kept putting my hand on his penis. He started telling me that he knew I didn't have a job. I had left Frito-Lay because of him. He knew that I had a daughter, and that he could either make me or break me. The choice was mine. And he made me have oral sex with. And he started to get really excited, and I pulled away, and he got really angry and said that it was worth $500,000 a year. And when I said no, he said that I'd better satisfy him. And he started pulling my pants off. And he pulled me on top of him. And he satisfied himself through intercourse.
He's a worshiping Satan freak. He's eating poop and having sex with animals and demons. And they all have herpes, folks. Almost all of them have herpes. It's a given when you're a Satanist. You know, you look at these people and you wonder, don't they want out once they get in? How do they get past the feces crap? And I was told that they do enough to stay alive. How greedy are you? How bad do you really want it? Because you're going to have to do a lot of vile and disgusting things to be awarded it. You're awarded it. You're allowed to succeed.
Jim, in business, you've got to learn to eat shit and like the taste of it. What? You got to learn to eat shit and like the taste of it in business. You're going to eat a lot of shit, like the taste of it. And I just looked at him, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Pat Patterson doesn't like me.
Pat doesn't like you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like when again, in the Olympic Auditorium, I was, I don't know, 21. You need to be a man about I'm talking about myself. You need to be a man about these things. And, you know, like since I was 15, I've been in this business. And when you're young in this business, it can be very difficult.
It's a political thing? Was he trying to keep you down?
No. It just got awkward. That's all.
He made you awkward, and you held a grudge?
Or I did, whatever, you know, my bad.
Were you forced to?
No. It's just, it's a hard business.